1. Introduction. My name is Maya. I am 26 years old. I live in a small town in India. My life is very simple and happy here. Every day, I wake up early in the morning. I walk to the small school in our village. I teach English to many young children. The children are sweet. They are also very smart and they laugh a lot in class. I like my work as a teacher very much. I enjoy my quiet life here. Our house is not big, but it is full of love. My parents are very good people. They always want the best for me. I often think about my future. I believe my future will be simple, just like my life now. Maybe I will find a kind man from our village. Perhaps we will get married and have a small family. I think about these things and I feel happy. I am content with my life. One evening, my parents call me to sit with them. They look very serious, not their usual happy selves. My father speaks first. He tells me, "Maya, we have important news for you. You are going to marry soon." My heart feels like it stops beating. I am surprised. I do not know any man who would marry me. My mother then tells me more. She says his name is Neil. He lives in a country called America. His family is from India, just like us. They are very rich people. She adds, "This is a very good chance for you, Maya. It is a big opportunity for your future." I feel a cold fear inside me. I have never met this man named Neil. I know nothing about America. I do not want to leave my home, my family, and my simple life here in the village. But my parents look at me with much hope in their eyes. They say this marriage is a big chance for our family to have a better future. My heart feels very heavy. It feels like a big stone is inside my chest. I want to say no to them. I want to cry, but I look at my parents' faces. I see how important this is to them. I know they believe this is for my good. I take a very deep breath. It is a hard choice, but I say, yes. This is what a good daughter does for her parents. I agree to their wishes. 2. My new husband. The wedding day came very fast. It was a very big day. Many people came to the celebration. I wore a beautiful red sari. I sat next to my new husband, Neil. He was a tall man. He was handsome, with light skin and dark eyes. But he did not smile much. He did not look at me. I felt like a stranger sitting next to him, even on our wedding day. We did all the traditional wedding steps. My parents cried, but they looked happy for me. I tried to smile, but my heart felt very heavy inside my chest. After the wedding, it was time to leave my home, my village, and my country. I got on a big airplane with Neil. It was my first time flying, and everything felt new and a little scary. The long flight took us far away to America. When we arrived, Neil's house was very big. It had many rooms and a large garden. It was much bigger than my small house in India. But the big house felt very empty and cold. Neil was very distant. He did not talk much to me. He ate his food quickly and then went to his room. He told me, "This is your room," pointing to a big room with a soft bed. He slept in a different room from me. I slept there alone every night. Every day I tried to talk to him. I would ask, "How was your day?" He usually just said, "Fine," or sometimes, "Busy." He spent a lot of time looking at his phone. He sat in a big chair and read things on his phone. I cooked meals for him. I cleaned the big house. I tried hard to make the house feel warm and like a home, but Neil did not say thank you. He did not seem to see me. I felt like a very small mouse in this very big, empty house. I missed my home so much. I missed my parents' warm smiles and their kind words. I felt very lonely in this new country, in this big house, with my new husband who was a stranger. My heart longed for the simple life I left behind. 3. His mother. Neil's mother, Kamala, lived in the big house with us. She was a tall woman with sharp eyes. From the first day, she was not kind to me. She looked at me in a way that made me feel small and unwanted. She often told me what to do. Her words were always critical. She said, "Maya, your English is not good. You speak with a strong accent." She also said, "You are from a small village. You do not know anything about life in a big city." She called me poor. She said I was useless. She told me, "You are not good enough for my son. My son needs a modern wife, not someone from a small village." These words hurt my heart very much every time I heard them. Kamala said these things directly to my face. She also said them when Neil was there, eating dinner or sitting in the living room. When she spoke badly about me, Neil did not say anything at all. He just listened. He never looked at me when his mother was angry. He never defended me from her harsh words. He stayed completely silent, looking at his plate or his phone. This made me feel even more alone in this new, strange place. I tried very hard to make her happy. Every morning I woke up early, even before the sun. I made her tea exactly the way she liked it. I did all the housework in the big house. I cleaned every room carefully. I cooked all the meals, trying new American recipes. I tried to learn about new ways of life here. I wanted to be a good wife and a good daughter-in-law. I hoped she would see my efforts. But nothing I did was good enough for her. She always found something wrong. Every single day, she found a new mistake. She found a new reason to be angry with me. My heart felt sad every day, from morning until night. The big house felt colder and colder because of her unkind words. At night, I went to my room. I closed the door tightly, wishing I could lock away my sadness. I lay on the soft bed. I cried very quietly, covering my mouth. I did not want anyone to hear my tears. I missed my family in India more and more each day. I missed my mother's soft voice and her warm hugs. I missed my father's kind eyes and his gentle smile. Here, in this big house, I had no one. I felt completely alone and lost. I had no friend to talk to. I had no one to share my sadness with. The days were long and full of her unkind words. The nights were long and full of my quiet tears. I often wished I could just disappear. I wished for someone to understand me. I wished for a kind word, just one. But there was only silence from Neil and harsh words from his mother, day after day. 4. Another woman. The days turned into weeks, and the weeks slowly turned into months. My life stayed the same every day. I woke up early. I cleaned the big house from morning until afternoon. I cooked food for Neil and his mother. I listened to Kamala's angry words about me. I saw Neil's cold and distant face. At night, I cried quietly in my room so no one could hear my sadness. I felt like a ghost living in the house. I did not laugh anymore. I did not smile. I just moved through the long, sad days one after another. One night, Neil came home very late. He often came home late from his work, but this night felt different. When he walked past me, I smelled something new. It was a sweet smell, a woman's perfume. It was a strong smell, and it was not my perfume. I had a small bottle of perfume, but this was completely different. My heart felt a strange, cold fear. I did not say anything to Neil. He went to his room, and I went to mine. I could not stop thinking about the new smell. The next day, I felt a strange and heavy feeling in my stomach. I could not eat any food for breakfast or lunch. After Neil left for his work, I decided I must do something. I felt very scared to do it, but I knew I had to find out the truth. I called a taxi. I told the driver to go to Neil's office building. When we arrived, I asked the driver to wait far away from the main entrance. I waited there for a long time. Then, I saw Neil come out of the building. He did not look like the cold and silent man who lived in our house. He was smiling. A woman was standing next to him. She was tall, and she had beautiful, long, dark hair. They walked together, side by side. They walked into a small cafe on the street. I followed them slowly. I walked to the cafe and stood outside. I looked through the big window into the cafe. They sat at a small table inside. They were talking to each other. They were laughing loudly. I saw her hand. She put her hand on his hand. She touched his fingers gently. Neil smiled at her again. He looked very happy. He looked at her in a way he never, ever looked at me. He looked at her with warmth and kindness. My heart broke into many small pieces inside my chest. It hurt so much, like a sharp pain, but I did not cry there. I could not cry in that public place. I turned around and walked away from the cafe. I had no one here in America. I had no friends. I had no one to tell about this deep pain. I had no one to talk to. I went home alone to the big, quiet house. I felt more alone than I had ever felt before. 5. A letter for me? I felt lost for many days. The picture of Neil and the other woman stayed in my head all the time. I could not sleep well. I felt very numb, like my feelings were gone. My heart was heavy, and I did not know what to do. The big house felt even colder and bigger around me. I felt completely alone in this new country. Then, one morning, something new happened. I saw a letter in the mailbox. It was from my mother. It had traveled a long way from India. My hands shook a little when I opened the envelope. Her handwriting was small and neat, just like I remembered. I started to read it. She wrote about my father and our village. She said they missed me very much. Then she wrote words that were very important. She said, "Are you happy, Maya? Love is not always easy, my daughter, but respect must be earned. You are strong, be strong." Her words were like a bright light in the dark room of my heart. Respect must be earned. I had been waiting for Neil or even his mother to give me respect. But maybe that was not the way. Maybe I needed to earn respect for myself first. Maybe I needed to respect myself. I looked in the mirror at my own face. My eyes looked tired and sad. My face looked pale. In that moment, I made a big decision. I decided I would not cry anymore. I would not be a ghost in this house. I would start to live for myself again. I started with small things. I bought some new clothes for myself. They were simple, but they were in colors I liked. I began to walk in the park every morning. I felt the warm sun on my face, and it felt good. I saw other people walking and families playing. Then I saw a notice for a dance class. It was for traditional Indian dance. The music was beautiful. I decided to join. The music made my heart feel a little lighter. It was a small joy. In the class, I met a woman named Priya. She was very kind. We talked after the class. She was my first friend here in America. It felt good to talk to someone, to share a little about my day, to laugh. I started to smile again. This time, I was not smiling because I thought Neil was watching or because I wanted to please his mother. I smiled because I wanted to smile. I smiled for me. Even if Neil did not see my smile, or if he did not care, I felt a little bit of my old self coming back. I was finding happiness for myself, step by step. I was earning my own respect. 6. He looks at me. Maya continued her new life. She went to her dance class often. She met her new friend, Priya, for coffee in the city. Maya felt stronger each day. She started to take care of herself more. She chose nice clothes to wear, clothes that had bright colors. She put on her small bottle of perfume. She did not try to talk to Neil all the time, but she was not quiet anymore. Sometimes she hummed songs from her village when she cooked food in the kitchen. She felt a little bit of happiness inside her. This feeling was new and good. Slowly, Neil began to see her. Maya noticed his eyes on her sometimes. It was not often, but it happened. He did not look at his phone so much when Maya was in the same room. He would look up from his screen. One evening, Maya was eating her dinner. Neil was also eating. He looked up from his plate. He asked her, "How was your day?" This was a big surprise for Maya. It was the first time he had asked her a real question. Before, he only asked, "Are you busy?" Or "Did you clean this?" Maya felt surprised, but she answered him simply. She told him about her day, about the dance class. He listened carefully. He did not say much, but he listened. This small change made Maya think about him differently. A few days later, Maya became very sick. Her head hurt a lot. Her stomach hurt too. She felt very weak. She could not get out of her bed. Neil's mother, Kamala, came into Maya's room. Kamala looked at Maya with her usual sharp eyes. She said, "You are always weak. You bring sickness into this house." Then Kamala left the room quickly without helping. Maya felt very sad and alone. She closed her eyes, wishing she was home in India. But then Neil came into Maya's room. Maya opened her eyes slowly. He looked at her with different eyes. He looked worried, not cold or distant. He walked closer to the bed. He touched Maya's forehead gently. His hand felt warm against her skin. He said, "You have a fever. You must rest." He did not leave. He went to the kitchen. After a few minutes, he came back. He had a bowl of warm soup in his hands. He sat down by Maya's bed. He stayed there for a long time. He watched Maya. He made sure she drank the soup slowly, sip by sip. He did not say anything mean. He did not look at his phone. He just watched her, his face showing true concern. When Neil took the empty bowl, his hand touched Maya's hand again. It felt very warm. It felt different from before. It was not cold like a stranger's hand. It felt like the hand of a person who truly cared. Maya saw a clear change in him. It was a small change, but it was there, like a tiny spark. She saw a little bit of care in his eyes. She felt a little less alone in the big house. This moment was important. It was the first time Neil showed real concern for her. It was the first time she felt a connection, even a small one, from him. She felt a small hope begin to grow in her heart, like a tiny flower starting to bloom. 7. We talk all night. After Maya felt better, things slowly changed between them. Neil began to talk more often. He would ask about her day, about her dance class, and about her new friend, Priya. Maya was a little surprised each time. She started to share small stories. She told him about the music in her dance class. She told him about a funny moment with Priya. Sometimes Neil would listen carefully. Sometimes he would even smile a little. Once he even laughed. It was a soft sound, but it was real. Maya had not heard him laugh before. These small talks were like tiny bridges between them. The coldness in the house was still there, but a little less. One evening, they were both in the living room. The big house was quiet. Kamala was in her room, asleep. It was very late, almost midnight. Maya looked at Neil. He was looking at a book, but he was not reading. He seemed thoughtful. Maya's heart started to beat very fast. She felt brave now. She had thought about the other woman many times. This secret hurt her every day. She felt she must ask him. She took a deep breath. "Neil," she said, her voice was a little shaky. I need to ask you something." He looked up. His eyes met hers. "I saw you," she continued, her voice gaining strength, "with another woman in the cafe a few months ago." Neil's face changed immediately. His eyes became sad. He looked away, then back at her. He took a slow breath. "Maya," he began. His voice was low. "Her name is Sarah. She was, from before our marriage, before you came to America." He paused. "When you came, I ended it with her. I knew it was wrong." He looked at her again, his eyes full of a new emotion. "But I was not happy, Maya. I was angry. My mother, Kamala, she always tells me what to do. She controls many things in my life. This marriage, it was her idea too. I did not want it in my heart. I felt trapped. My life was not my own." He looked down at his hands. "So I was cold. I was angry at everything. Not at you, Maya. I was just angry at my life. I was afraid of this marriage. I was afraid to feel anything." He looked up, and Maya saw tears in his eyes. "I was afraid to love you," he said softly. "I did not know how to be a husband. I did not know how to be a partner. I just shut myself off." He continued to talk. He told her about growing up with his mother's strict rules. He told her about feeling alone even in his big house. Maya listened to every word. She saw a different Neil, not the cold stranger, but a man who also felt pain. When he finished, Maya felt tears in her own eyes. She understood some of his sadness now. "Neil," she said, "I also felt very alone. I came here to a new country, to a new house with a stranger. I missed my home. I missed my parents. I wanted a partner. I did not want just a husband by duty. I wanted love. I wanted someone to share my life with." They talked for many hours. They shared their pain, their fears, their sadness. They spoke about their lives before the marriage and how they felt now. The moon moved across the sky. The darkness outside turned into a soft gray light. The sun began to rise. When the first rays of morning light came through the window, they were still talking. They both cried. It was a cry that felt like a release. For the first time, they were truly open with each other. For the first time, they were not strangers. They felt a deep connection. It was a long night, but it was the start of something real. 8. A new beginning. The next day, something very important happened in the house. Neil talked to his mother, Kamala. I was in the next room, so I did not hear every single word, but I heard Neil's voice. It was strong and clear, not quiet or unsure like before. "Mother," he said firmly, "Maya is my wife. She is part of this family. You must respect her." Kamala was very silent for a moment. She looked surprised by Neil's words. For the first time, she did not argue back right away. For a few days after that, Kamala was still a little angry. Her face was not soft, but she started to say less to me. She did not call me names or say bad things about my village anymore. Slowly, very slowly, her behavior started to change. One morning, she even asked me, "How was your day, Maya? Did you sleep well?" It was a simple question, but it was a big change. It was still hard sometimes to talk to her, but it was much better than before. The heavy feeling in the house began to lift. Neil was completely different now. He was not the cold, distant man I first met. He smiled at me often, and his smiles reached his eyes. He held my hand when we sat together on the sofa in the evenings. His hand felt warm and comforting in mine. We started to do many things together. We cooked in the kitchen. Neil tried to make some of my favorite Indian dishes. He was not very good at it at first. He would make a mess with the flour or mix up the spices, but he tried very hard. I taught him how to use different ingredients. We laughed a lot when we cooked. These moments were new and full of happiness for us. When I went to my dance class, Neil often came to pick me up. Sometimes he would even come inside the studio and watch me dance for a little while. He would clap his hands when the class finished. "You are so good, Maya," he would say with a proud smile. His words made me feel very happy and truly seen. He also started asking me about my friends and my day. He listened carefully when I spoke. The big house, which had felt so empty and cold before, did not feel that way anymore. It slowly started to feel like a warm home. There was laughter in the rooms. There was quiet talk and shared smiles. Our wedding was not about love, it was just a duty, something we had to do for our families. But our marriage now had love. It grew slowly, like a small, strong plant growing in a dry desert. It was delicate at first, but it was real and strong now. And it was ours, a special connection that we had built together, step by step, day by day. We learned that love can grow in places you never expect. It can come after much sadness and much waiting. This was our new beginning, full of hope and kindness for the future.